Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. In today's video, we are going to cover Krystal. This is a liquidity manager, extremely useful for any liquidity provider. They operate within multiple blockchains, multiple DEXs, and I did cover this protocol back in 2024, but since they did introduce many novelties, more blockchains, more DEXs, they now do support Solana, Sonic, Barrachain, and there's also plenty of other things cooking at this point in time that have not yet been released, but probably they will be features that liquidity providers are looking forward to. And with Krystal, you can even automate your own liquidity pool positions, which is a really handy feature to make your liquidity pool management completely hands off. If you're interested in crypto passive income through liquidity providing, Krystal is definitely an app you want to know about. And that's what we will explore on today's video by giving you a complete review of the protocol, as well as focusing on the completely new features that they have introduced since my original video on it. Ready? Let's dive in. Krystal's dashboard is split in between three main features: strategies, hot pools, and profile. Profile is about managing your own liquidity pool positions. You can do everything from here. You can swap tokens, you can manage your liquidity pool positions, that means claiming fees, compounding, setting up new ranges. And while you do all of those things, you will be earning rewards in the shape of the Krystal points. Let me just mention that here as a side note. They have a points campaign. Potentially this could lead up to a future airdrop, although nothing has been announced. But still, whatever action you do here, from swapping to depositing, even withdrawing liquidity or claiming fees, it will get you some Krystal points. Maybe in the future this will have some utility. We'll have to wait for it. So far, this is just something that you will collect by using the platform. If you want to manage your liquidity on the go, they also have their own Krystal application on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Now let's touch on strategies. We'll leave hot pools to the end because this is going to be the juicier part of the protocol. But under strategies, you will be able to see every single wallet which is using Krystal. And this will allow you actually to copy their own strategies, so you can search for users who are getting a ton of profit and potentially copy their strategies. And this is just like what many exchanges allow users to do, which is copy trade. So you can find potentially good opportunities here, people who are having great results when it comes to liquidity providing, and you can follow their strategies. For example, let's go here with high cap. Okay, not much showing right now, just one pool for high cap. But in any case, if you want to copy the strategy, you click it, you see everything that is going on. You get to see the current range, and actually there's no automation currently with this one. So let me go and show you another position, because what happens is that you will have automated positions that they itself will show you the automation strategies. So for example, this one shows you the current range, the upper next range, the lower next range. They even show you the rebalancing trigger, so you can potentially find a strategy which has been doing really well for the recent or not so recent past, and open yourself a new position based on the strategy that you found. It will also give you an idea of the performance for the past 24 hours, days, or even the whole month. You can also filter strategies here from all platforms or for a specific DEX that you are eyeing. You could also select a specific blockchain. There's more advanced filters you can apply: total value, fees generated, PNL, for how many days has the position been active, or even the APR. And for example, whenever you see this little robo icon, it's showing you that automation is activated. So this is virtually a hands-off position. It's going to have its trigger when the trigger is met. In this case, it's when the price reaches this point. It will set up a new range. So the current range is the green. The range will become whatever is inserted in the blue area. And the same goes if the price goes down. That's the lower next range. If price hits the red button, the red mark, it will trigger this rebalancing and set up a new range. Now let me mention, whenever this happens, Krystal will take a 2% fee applied only to your profits. But essentially that is what strategies is here for. You can find inspiration from other users, you can find other users who are performing really well and even copy their strategies or learn from them. Now let's talk about hot pools. This is the meaty part of the protocol. This is where Krystal shines the most. You can get a very fast and accurate understanding of what's happening on the markets of a given blockchain. You can filter things by different blockchains, and since I did my last video, they added on Solana, Unichain, Sonic Mainnet, and Barachain. So this is a very solid offer when it comes to blockchains. These are all big players, I would argue. Only Sui is lacking, but it's already a great offer when it comes to the sheer number and the big players that they do support here on Krystal. Then alongside that, you can filter things further for the supported protocols. On Sonic Mainnet, they have 3 so far, but in any case, for all of these blockchains, you will find the leading dexes. Might be lacking one or another. For example, on Solana, they only support Radium so far, but Radium is pretty much also a top 3 dex on Solana. And the chances are, if you're looking to provide liquidity in the Solana blockchain, you will find whatever pool you want on Radium. That's how big they are. So that's how hot pools work. You select a blockchain, you select then a protocol, or you can leave it up to show all liquidity pools in all platforms, and they will give you what's trending, what's the best APR pairs. Likely you'll find some degen stuff here, although sometimes you'll find blue chip asset pools which are performing really well with the really high APRs, but this is mostly what is trending. Then you'll have best blue chip pools. And if you are a newbie to liquidity providing, this is what you want to be looking out for. Blue chip assets, the assets that will not suffer as much from market volatility, that have a much higher market cap. So the real deal, basically. And then you'll have best stablecoin pools. In the case here, this is for more conservative users who want to get some yield but on pegged assets. You will find here a lot stablecoin pairs, but here and there you'll probably see other stablecoin pools like some sort of Ethereum derivatives or other cryptocurrency derivatives. I'm not sure if that will show up here. Usually what I see are stablecoin pools, but you get the idea. So everything is shown here, and that shows you that with Krystal's Explorer section, you can get a very accurate understanding of what's happening in the markets in a given blockchain. And now they even inserted the favorite list. So how this works, if you want to find a pool, you see a pair here, but there are different pools, multiple pools for each given pair. So you'll have to see something that fits you. For example, let's say you want to provide liquidity to Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain. That's the example we're going to take. We are already on Ethereum. So I would click this pool, and also do note that they have this robot icon. It shows us that automation is supported. Automation, it's not supported for all of the pools out there. So just as a heads up, have that in mind. But when it shows this icon, you already know that you can set up your triggers for managing everything. So you're going to select your pool, and then you're going to go and scroll down, and they will show you all of the pools on a given blockchain for that very same pair. We see that these pools only exist on the Uniswap V4 and V3 on Ethereum. Now let me also add on, probably you will find also these pools in PancakeSwap or maybe SushiSwap. The thing is, Krystal does a sort of vetting for the results they are showing you. They will not show you pools under a specific TVL. I don't know for sure, but it's probably $5,000, something like that. So really low TVL pools they will not show you. So it doesn't mean that the pool doesn't exist. This is just their way of filtering things out and showing you only the bigger pools or the most active pools, okay? But then you get here a very deep assessment of how the pool is performing. You have just a ton of metrics: 24-hour APR, 1-hour APR, TVL, 24-hour volume, fees for the past day, also the drawdown, price volatility, volume to TVL ratio, this is a big one, and also fees per TVL. This is pretty much the same as the volume to TVL. The higher the volume to TVL will be, the higher the fees per TVL will be. It's just a different metric, but for example, this shows you fees per TVL that for the past 24 hours, this specific pair on this specific pool generated in fees 0.17% of the volume deposited in liquidity. So the TVL is 17.6 million. So basically, every liquidity provider here earned 0.17% a day on their deposit. Well, not a day, but for the past 24 hours, you know what I mean. If you want to save the pool, you can add it to your favorite list. and then you'll have it here under in the favorite list. Everything will be showing. It's a great little add-on. And then if you want to also provide liquidity, you have the plus icon here. This will allow you to straight away deposit liquidity into the pool, set up the range, minimum, max. They have the zap in feature, which is incredibly useful. Zap in allows you to, let's say this is on Ethereum blockchain, right? Let's say you only have Ethereum in your wallet, but this pool only has tokens that are not Ethereum, right? Bitcoin and USDC. So this allows you to deposit Ethereum and they will swap on the back end. Also, by doing that, you will be earning Krystal points that we just saw earlier. So just from interacting with the liquidity pool by using Krystal, you will earn swap points, you will earn deposit points. So everything will actually build up your points bag. Let's see what that will bring in the future. But you use the platform, you get points. And of course, Zap-in is incredibly useful. You don't have to worry about having a specific ratio of both tokens in a pair. They also have a zap out, so when you claim fees for any given liquidity pool, you will be also given the option to claim those fees in the shape of one token, and it might not even be the token of the pool. For example, in this pool, I could claim rewards in the shape of Ethereum. They would do, once again, the swap on the back end. Now, alternatively, you can get even more information on the pool. Now, if you click it, you'll see what I mean. Let's go into the pool and see in more detail. So you have the TVL, right? We saw all of this TVL volume, the fees generated for the past day, pool tokens, token address that you can copy. And this is a thing that they also introduced since my last video. Now the chart that they show here is tracked by DEX Screener, the price chart. This is incredibly useful if you want to do some back testing, which you should when you're providing liquidity. So you can easily zoom out, you can sort different type of time metric for the candles in order to set up your ranges. So you can just accurately put a range that will generate you fees, and then there's more information you can get from here. Before, they would show some sort of graph like this, even for the price, but you can get an idea of how the APR of the pool is doing over time, how is the TVL of the pool been evolving, volume also, and fees. So a ton of information overall. You can also set your price ranges not only with the current token's price, but also with percentages. This means you can get to decide your range based on percentages. For example, current price for Bitcoin is $84,000. So you could say that you want to set up your minimum 10% below current price, or 15 or 20, and the same for maximum. You can set up your top price range for 200%. Of course, this will depend on your preference, but I rather to set ranges based on percentages, but that's just me. You can also go ahead and select their standard features for narrow range. This will give you a 5 to 5 or 5% and 5% on the upside and downside price distribution. So let me zoom out here. So here you go. It's showing you what the narrow range is. Wide range is 30-30, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, it's exactly that. Full range is trading within the full spectrum of prices. It will get you the lowest APRs, by the way. You see the estimated earning for $1,000. Here is really low because of that. If we go with wider ranges, it will definitely be higher. So it's now at 6 cents. And that is likely because we are looking at a very low fee tier pool. So yeah, 0.05%. Of course, we are looking at a day with really low volume, 61K in volume for 17 million in liquidity. I mean, this is pretty much a drop in the bucket. So your estimated earnings also do reflect that. It's not only about the price range, although if you go with tighter ranges, the rewards will definitely go up. You also have an impermanent loss calculator. Actually, this has been available probably since the beginning of Krystal. When I did my last video, this was already a feature that they provided users, but then you just need to add liquidity, and again you can use the zap-in feature. But this is one of the things that they did improve since my last video, especially the DEX screen chart. That makes it for a much better experience to use Krystal as a user and set up ranges without needing to go outside of the platform, use DEX screener or Gecko terminal, for example, to get an assessment assessment of prices over time, how the markets have been doing. Now, tied up to all of this, they also have their own automation, which is incredibly useful. Automation can allow you to determine when you go in or out of a position. I have a full video showing you how to do it step by step. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. But there's 3 ways you can automate. One is auto rebalance. You set a new ranges depending on the triggers that you set. Auto compound. This will reinvest your earnings back into the pool, effectively increasing your share of the pool. Because in case you don't know, if you're a complete beginner, when you deposit any amount of funds into a pool, you'll become an owner of a share of the pool depending on how much you have deposited. And then there's going to be auto exit. This will completely take your funds out of the pool. Let's say if a given token does 2x, you can definitely put that to be your auto exit trigger. You'll go out of the pool, you'll receive tokens in your wallet, and this can also be used as a stop loss mechanism in order to protect you against market volatility. If you are not keen on holding long term, you can set up your auto exit to be triggered when a token just drops 10%, 20, 30%. It's up to you, but that will allow you effectively to close your position. Also important to note, the automation feature will come with a cost. They will charge you a fee of 2% on your profits. They changed it in the past. It would be based on your full position, I believe, but right now that's the deal. 2% of your profits whenever you're automating a position with Krystal. They will take that as a fee in order to pay for their service. Now, coming soon, their Liquidity Vaults, which is currently under alpha testing. You can early access this via whitelist. So enter this if you want to be involved and give them feedback, and they should give you a response soon. And these vaults will be actually the Krystal Vaults. If you are familiar with Beefy has a ton of vaults. Like everything that you see on screen on Beefy, it's a vault which is run and managed by Beefy itself. And Krystal is basically offering the same type of thing in the near future with their own managed liquidity vaults. And this is it about Krystal. Have you used it? Let us know in the comments what has been your experience with Krystal. I use it all the time. It's a really great platform, not only to manage, but also to find which pools are hot right now. They support the major blockchains, the major platforms for providing liquidity on, and they keep on building and giving us more options. So it's definitely one of my favorite protocols when it comes to providing liquidity. Be on top of the current market. They even have right now this market section where you can just have an idea of what's happening in the crypto market. But I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you like Krystal? Do you use it a lot? Is there an alternative that you prefer? Let me know all about it. If you enjoyed this type of content, if you took value from the video, like and subscribe for more. Maybe share with someone who might be looking for this type of information. I'm going to wrap this one up. Keep exploring crypto, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.